From Asaugebari, Ohio, welcome to another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Darryl Ryder, coming to you from Cross Country Mortgage Campus. Let's start with some injury news. The Browns put offensive tackle Dwan Jones on injured reserve Wednesday after he suffered that season-ending knee injury that will require surgery. That occurred in Sunday's 13-10 win over the Packers. Now, to shore up the offensive line, they signed offensive tackle Thaler Mumford Jr. off the Patriots practice squad. Mumford, an Ohio State Buckeye, is in his fourth season. He has started 18 times in 46 career games. As far as practice goes, Mike Hall Jr. continues to be a DNP as he recovers from knee surgery. Shelby Harris, who had that big blocked field goal with 27 seconds left, he did not practice due to a hamstring injury. And cornerback Denzel Ward is dealing with shoulder and toe injuries that have kept him off the practice field as well. Some positive news: kicker Andre Schmidt was named AFC Special Teams Player of the Week after he hit that game-winning 55-yard field goal as time expired to beat the Packers. Schmidt also connecting on a 35-yarder as well as PAT in the final 3 minutes and 40 seconds of that game that saw the Browns score 13 unanswered points to steal the win. Getting Jerry Jeudy going has to be top of mind this week offensively for the Browns. Through 3 games, Jeudy has just 10 catches for 134 yards, but Jeudy been here before.
Just keep having faith. Negativity ain't gonna bring nothing, ain't gonna make it better. So they're staying positive, and you see the outcome once you stay positive. Yeah, it's very difficult, but you got to stay the course. Because that's the only right way to do it. We've been doing everything we can. The biggest thing is just staying consistent. And eventually, those games gonna happen. And we're gonna get to where we need to go at. But the biggest thing is just staying consistent. And just see what happens from there. The good thing is I dealt with that. So the biggest thing is just having the right mindset and just knowing this the game of football. 1 week you might not get no catches. Next week you might have 10, 14, 20 catches. And the week after that you might not get no catches again. So the biggest thing is just staying the course. Staying level-headed and just know eventually your time gonna come. And just being patient. Don't let it really mess up your feelings towards the game. The way you come out there and compete and practice. You just got to know this a part of football. Beginning of last year, I wasn't really getting that much opportunities. Towards the end of the season, that's when I popped. So just staying focused and staying driven. Just got to stay in the game. Like I said before, good thing I've been in these situations, so I know how to handle it. At the same time, like I said, you don't know when you're gonna get the ball. Coach could set up play for you to get the ball. It might not be the right coverages. It might not be the perfect play for that look. But at the same time, you gotta understand it's a lot that go into it. So for you to be successful, all 11 players gotta do their job. So you gotta just keep a course and just keep working. I pride myself playing with a lot of emotion, but not playing emotional. So I just do what I'm supposed to do. Of course, when you playing a competitive game like this, you're gonna have a lot of emotions and energy. So that's just a part of the game. They got a great offense over there that been putting up points. And as a unit and as a group, I feel like we're gonna have to put up points. Defense been doing a great job these past few weeks holding these offense to a little bit of amount of points, but we just got to do a better job in offense, just scoring points and doing what we're supposed to do.
Last week, Jeudy didn't see a look until the second quarter. That can't happen, but the Browns also can't force the issue and expect that good things are going to happen.
You do have to let it come. At the same time, it's important. If he's going, then we're going to be going good. And at the same time, you could come up with things throughout the week, and obviously you're doing that every week. You're game planning to get certain guys the ball in certain situations and all that. But if you start to force things, especially with the way we're playing good teams right now. If you start to force things against good football teams, then usually bad things happen, and those kind of football teams take advantage of that. So I think it can be frustrating for him, for me, especially when we're just not putting up as many points as we want to anyway. But man, you got to fight that urge big time. Haven't, and maybe at some point you have to, but I would hope not. I really, it's funny because I get these questions up here, but I don't really think about those things. Listen, I want to go out there. I do want to go out there and throw for 300 every day and do all those things. And I want him to have 150 every week. But that's just not how this league works all the time. You got to stay patient, and when your number's called, I think if you are in that patient mindset, then you're going to be the most ready to strike when the opportunity is ready for you, and I think that's all we can do.
Right now, this offense is not hitting big plays down the field. It's been pretty conservative overall. The scoreboard reflects it with an average of 15.3 points per game. They're ranked 30th in the NFL in scoring and 22nd in yards per game.
I think most of my career, it's funny because I've probably gotten to throw the ball around the yard a little bit the last few years when I've been in games, but I think most of my career I've honestly played in that conservative style offense where you have to take care of the football, and it might not look pretty all the time, but there's going to be a handful of plays that you have to make in every game that could be a deciding factor. So, it's funny to see how things go, but teams are different and teams are good at doing different things, and we're still trying to find a little bit about what we are the best at. And, during that process is just, finding that balance and doing what you can do as a quarterback. As a quarterback, your job is to go out there and do whatever you have to do to win the football games. And I think right now, especially with the way our defense is playing, if that's what I have to do week in and week out, I'm not going to be shy about doing that. I think there's always a point in your career where you're worried about, probably wrongfully so, you're worried about putting up yards and things like that. All I care about is winning. Winning football games, that's it. I don't think you can ever bank on that. Listen, I mean, it is supposed to be hard to a certain extent when you're in this league. And I think it's just up to you to kind of have the mindset that you're ready to deal with that. And I think if you do have that mindset that it's going to be hard every week, then you give yourself the best chance to go out there and meet it head on and kind of have the most success you can. I mean, listen, it's probably hard to talk about this generically over the last 3 weeks. I'd have to go back and look at every single thing. But, obviously we haven't been able to get the ball downfield so far. And, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Listen, I think we want to ultimately be physical and we want to play fast. We want to put pressure on teams, and we want to do that with physicality. And I think we're building towards that. But when you do those two things, everything else kind of tends to fall in place. This game still comes down to teams being able to feel that physical presence and to you putting pressure on them with your speed and just your speed of operation and speed of your motions, getting out of the huddle, all those things. I think that's what we're striving to be, and we're working towards it.
The Detroit Lions present another massive test for this Browns defense, who has answered the bell for the first 3 weeks of the season. Jared Goff and the Lions have scored 90 points in their last 2 games combined in wins over the Bears and Ravens. Their offensive line is big, strong, physical, not to mention they're also 7 for 8 converting on 4th down this season.
Just keeping the momentum, whether it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th down, always being ready and playing 3rd downs exactly like 4th downs, doing our best job to get off the field. They're physical, they're maulers, but for us going in the game, our mentality is the same. We got to be physical right back and dominate the line of scrimmage. You can see he's played a lot of football and he knows what he's seeing and where he wants to go with the ball. And I think for us, just similar to every week, knowing what we're supposed to do and trying to get as much pressure as we can as well. Yeah, there's little differences, but both backs can do everything the offense is asking. So really we're prepared for everything, whichever back's in the game. I think I've learned a lot. I think we've been playing a lot of high-powered offenses, and we've gone in there and been able to, for the most part, play physical and fast how we want to play, and I think that's something we look to continue doing. And for me, I feel like every week I'm learning and getting better with it. If you were to ask me, I'd go play offense, go play all the special teams too, if it was up to me. Probably wouldn't be best for us, but if it were up to me, that's what I do.
That'll do it for this edition of Brownie Bites. Brown's going to be back on the practice field on Thursday. Thanks, as always, for watching, and remember to subscribe to the 92.3 The Fan YouTube channel. With the Browns in Berea, I'm Daryl Ryder for Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.